Okay, super. So yesterday we tried till Flask, right? So in Flask also we completed only few things only. So let's try to see like what we can cover today. Okay, because this Flask is very important, and then we have to learn end-to-end, or else like you won't be able to build end-to-end applications or like end-to-end machine learning applications. Okay, so let's try to see any other things we can learn. Okay, I am not able to open it. Okay, it's already open. Okay. Yeah, so if you remember previously, we just added like some kind of a how to call like HTML pages and how to render these things. We just looked at yesterday's class, right? So now today I will tell you how to get like a get post request, right? How to read the get request and how to read the post request and how to handle those things. Okay, so now let's try to create some sample thing. For that, I'm copying the previous code itself and I'm enhancing based on the previous code. Okay, let me connect it to the base environment. Yeah. So now, till yesterday, we understood like these are the routes we can build and all, right? So one more thing was I just wanted to show you is a how do you get a post and how do you get a get request, right? So for that I'm building a one more route which is a form, and this will take like a both get and post. Okay, and then that is form method, it will call form method. And if there is a one module called request, okay, this will take the request. Okay, if the method is post, so double equal to the method is post, what we are doing was we are just getting the whatever the field, okay, which was entered in the form, and I'm creating a very simple form with a name, and then I'm trying to pass that name back. Okay, now this name will be taken into this variable, and I'm just returning a string hello, the name. That's it, right? If else, will return and render template back to form.html. Right, so request module we need to import it. Yeah, that's fine. So now if you see, we don't have a form.html previously. So I just created one sample here. So if you can see here, this is a very, very basic sample of the form.html. So what I am doing was I'm creating a heading here, and I'm creating a form with submit is an action. In that there is a name field, which is a text field, and ID is name, and then there is a submit button. Okay, this is a basic form what I was created here. Okay, so now let's try to see what will happen. Also, yeah, so now let's try to execute it. Python get post.py. Okay, this is what we have initially executed, or like a launch page, right? When you do that, and now this is my form page. Now if I use, see, basically it is giving like a no URL form. Why it is, tell me why it is happening, in the sense like in our form request, right? So we use like a submit here, correct? So but do we have a submit? No, right? So now I will be implementing one more route here. So let's say, let's just copy this entire thing. And I'm adding a submit button, sorry, submit route. And now let's try to see the execution. Okay, add route, submit. Yeah, you need to change the method name also. Okay, so submit, and then request dot method equal to post request. You are taking the form name ID, and then that is the storing it here, and then you will be displaying. Okay, let's try to execute one more time. Yeah, let's redirect it. Okay, now what I am doing was I will call the form URL. Now if I execute it, see it as soon as I submit it, it took that entire the ID or like whatever the field we have given, and then it is passing to a form.html. Right here, it will, when you submit it, right? So what it will do was it will try to get this URL hitting. I mean, this URL is hitting, and then you will be able to go and return the this value. Okay, hello, the name. Okay, so that's how it is happening. Clear?
Yeah, Uday.
Okay, so now let's go and see like a one more method. Let me solve this. There's a one more thing you need to understand. So yesterday I told you, right, there is a one template called Jinja template. So we need to understand how do you use the Jinja template, right? So basically Jinja template majorly useful for building dynamic URL, right? And that is the one thing. And then it will also use variable rule, and uh, it uses like the entire thing using Jinja 2 template engine. Okay, when I say Jinja template engine, right, what it means was you can create a variables or like a the template in such a way that, okay, so you can use like a this double curly braces. What it will do was it will take this whatever the value inside that curly braces expression to print output in HTML. Okay, this is the one thing. And then for any kind of conditions, right? So if you want to display using any if clause, then only display, right, in the HTML, then you can use this one. This is the syntax for conditions, for loops, etc. Right, and then you will also have like a this syntax for just for a comments. Cool. So these are the basics of the Jinja templates, but you can also go through the online and explore like if you need any other things. But for our purpose, I think mostly these three syntax or like expressions will be useful, right? So now quickly use something and use and see the practical. Okay, from class import class comma render template, and we also need the request, and we need now redirect, and we also need URL file. I will tell you why we need this redirect and URL file. So quickly create a one Flask application. Okay, this will create your WSGI application, right? So let me copy the previous code because we want like a launch page and everything. Yeah, so this is about I did not copy fully. Let me copy. So this is the basic things. Now, first thing was I will show you what is a variable rule in Jinja template, right? So when I say variable rule, right, let me create a route here. In this route, I am using like a, let's say, success route here. Okay, and def success. I would like to take some score here, and if the score greater than or equal to 50, then I am using my response all as passed. Okay. Else my response equal to failed. Okay. This is what I'm trying to display in a HTML. Okay. Now what I need here was I just need a score value. Correct. So I'm using a score value here, and I want this should be in an integer, right? And maybe the casting will be in an integer this way. Clear? So I think like initially we'll have to initialize a variable res. Okay. Now I can use return render template. In the render template, I will use like a result.html and I'm passing the result value. What I told, the entire Ginger template utilizes the values whatever you pass, and it will display in the UI. Correct. So for that, results equal to res I'm passing. Okay. Now first we don't have a initially result.html, so I already created. So I will just open and show you what it's there. Okay. So now if you see here, okay, so you can ignore at this point. Maybe I will remove this code. 1 second. Yeah, I will uncomment later. So what I was doing was I'm just creating a one header here, and then like based on the marks you have, it just displaying. It will take the data and then it will display. That's it. Okay. Let's try to execute it. Now let me open the terminal again. Python ginger.py. Okay. Oh, sorry, I did not add any kind of a this main method, right? So main method. Yeah. 1 second. If name equal to main, then your app should run and use like a debug equal to true. Yeah. So now if you see, this is my launch page. Okay. Now what I will do was I will just use like a success. Yeah. So when I hit this success, right? So basically it is not showing anything, right? So why? Because we did not pass any kind of a value, right? I will try to pass like a value here. Let's say if I am passing 50. 1 second. Okay. So type error is coming because like this 50 I converted into integer. Let's try to see. Maybe I will remove this as an integer and I will just display it. Okay. Instead of casting anything. Just a second. Yeah. So let me create one more thing. One second. So it's not redirecting back to result.template, I guess. Based on the marks, you will have results. These are if score is greater than 50. It should work. URL not found, render template. 1 second. Okay, so maybe I will update in different way. Okay, I think like this integer syntax was a bit different. So what we can do was let me create a one more route. I mean, I will update this route. Let me stop this, and we are taking this. I will create an expression here. Expression equal to, and maybe I will add score. In this score, I will pass like this the value and corresponding results. Okay, now I will pass this entire expression. Okay, success res, it is redirecting to, maybe I will create a one more result.html1 results 1. Okay, so what we can do here was let's try to see. So here whatever the results 1.html, it has like a, it will take that entire dictionary. So here you are passing a dictionary in terms of a expression. So it will take a score and it will take a results and it automatically display it. Okay, so that's we are just displaying in the HTML. Got it? So that's exactly the variable rule with if clause. With if clause. Right. Let's try to see if you are able to execute this. Now I will just use success res and I'm passing 100. Yeah, so if you are able to see, so it is displaying the score is equal to 100 and then your response or like a results is passed. Let's say if I'm using like a 35, it's showing as failed. Got it? So basically, I just wanted to show you how the Zinja template will work here. Right? So this is the one way. And let's say if you want to display, this is let's try to see some kind of a dynamic URL. Okay, let's see a dynamic URL. Right. So let me stop this. I actually have like a one HTML page I created here. So what it will do was it will try to take like a data. So for science, maths, and subject C and data science, and then it will try to, once the user submitted, what it will do was it will try to take a I'm trying to get some kind of a total score, and based on that, it should the entire URL should be rendered to a specific thing. Okay, that's we are calling as a dynamic things. Now let's try to create that thing. So I will create a one more route, app.route, and submit it. I'm calling this with a submit route, and I will pass like a methods equal to get comma post, and I will use like a def submit. Here initially total score equal to 0. So if request dot method equal to post, what we need to do was we need to take all the data. Okay, double equal to. So we need to take all the data, right? So where we have, let's say first subject is science. So in science, I need to take request dot form. What is the form ID? If you see the form ID, it's nothing but science. Okay, this is your ID. So you need to take the value from that ID, right? And maybe if you are entering, I will just convert it into a float, right? That will be stored in a science. So similarly for math. So request dot form, and what is ID for math? It's maths. And again, we will just convert it into float. Now there is a one more subject called C. I'm writing requests dot form, and what is the ID for C? It's a C, small c, right? And data science equal to request dot form data science, and maybe we'll create a float for here also, right? So now all scores we have taken, got it? Now I just wanted to sum all these things and take average. Okay, so science plus maths plus C plus data science divided by 4. This is my total score. What I want to do was else block. If it is not a post method, then return a render template, and I just want to render the original template, which means that my get results dot html. Okay, get result dot html. Got it? So this is the one. Else, I mean, in the if it is success, then what I need to do was redirect. Okay, in the redirect URL for success res, right? Success res. What success res will take? See, the success res will take a score, correct? Got it? The success res will take a score here. So you need to pass that score here. Success res will take a score. Score equal to, that score is nothing but your total score. Okay, if you see, by using, I will just add a comment here. By using this URL for, you are able to use like a dynamic calling. We can call dynamic URLs, right? So what I just did here was I just calculated a score, and based on that, if there is no score, you are just redirecting to that same page. If there is a score, you have to calculate, and I'm going for another page which is success res, right? Success res. Let's try to see if the spelling is correct or not. Yeah, I think it's wrong. Yeah, success res, and then you are passing the total score. Okay, and then it will display it. Clear? So let's try to execute this one. Okay, so now first thing was I just need to open a submit. Yeah, so let's say my science score is 100, 60, 75, 80, right? So now if I click the submit, one second, success areas with the values score. Okay, so let me check. Something was wrong. Success res. It will take score. Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, I think I did not update this one. Let's try. 70, 60, 80. See. So it was okay. Like if you are getting errors and solving, so it's a good learning. So as soon as I got the error, what I understood here was, see, here I mentioned a route as success RES only, but the method what I was calling, it's different, correct? That's why I got error. So now what we achieved here was by using the URL, whatever we have here is submit, correct? So but you are able to call another URL automatically. That is called a dynamic URL calling using like your Jinja templates. Clear? So any doubts so far?
No, they.
Okay, super. So now I will show you one more thing was, so currently you are able to call using get and post, but there is a one more method called put and delete method also. You have to understand those as well. So let's try to create those things. So those we call as an API also. I mean, whatever we saw, these are also APIs, but put and delete also you should understand. So for that, I'm gonna create a one more file, api.py. Okay. In this api.py, let's try to understand put and delete. These we call as a HTTP works. Like the post and get also HTTP works only, but here we are adding like additional things. Okay, so when you are working with APIs, right? So it doesn't mean that we are using like we use JSON data. Okay, so you always need to remember whenever there is a API backend, so it will return a JSON data, right? So now let's try to import few things. Flask, import flask, comma JSONify, and request. We need a request also. Okay, let's quickly create our Flask app. Right, this will create your web server gateway interface app. Okay. Now, first, what I was doing here was, so I will trying to create an API for like my to-do list, right? So let's initially create some initial data in my to-do list. Okay, so for that I'm creating a few items here. In items, I will use like ID equal to 1, ID equal to 1, and I'm giving like a name also. My ID name. When I say name, right, so it's item 1. And I will also add like some description. What is this item? So this is item 1. Okay, this is the first item. So I will quickly copy this, add one more item also. Item 2, this is a item 2. Okay. Now let's quickly create a one home page. In the home page, app.route, and I'm adding to the backslash, and here home. So whenever you launch the application, it will return this page. So here I'm using like a welcome to the sample to do list app. Okay, this is my home page. So first thing was, we'll try to create a get request. So in the get request, what I will do was, I just retrieve all items in the list, right? So for that, what is the app route? Tell me. What we can keep? We can just keep like items and the method, right? The method what you can use was here get. Got it? So now maybe I will use like a def get items and return item list. Okay, that item list I need to return in a JSON. Got it? So since this is an API, clear? So this will return entire things. Let's say if I want to return all the item, oh, any item by ID, retrieve item by ID. That is also possible, right? So now for that, I need to write app dot route. Maybe I will use like a item. Inside the items, I need to pass a int integer item ID. Got it? Okay. So now the methods equal to same get and diff get item. Now what it should take? This method should take a item ID. In the item ID, see, you have like an entire list of items, correct? So what you need to do, you need to iterate over each and every item and then display the corresponding item. Got it? So that's the same thing I will do. What I am doing here was for item in items, right? If item with item ID, sorry, with ID, this ID should equal to your item ID, then I need to fetch it. Got it? If not, none. Okay, and I will use this as next method. Okay, so this is the thing. So what I was doing here was I'm just calling the entire item list. For every item I will check if the ID is matching, then I will pick that item and then I'm gonna display it. So I think like there is a one more thing we missed. Yeah. Why it's still throwing error? Okay. Yeah, I got it. So it should be here. Yes. Okay. Now, if item is none, right? If the item is none, which means that the item, whatever we got, it was not there, then you just need to display. Maybe we'll display like a error. Okay. Error item not found. Okay. Else in the sense like I just wanted to return the JSONify item. Okay, this is how you will get a item description or like item things using your any kind of a item ID. Clear? Now maybe let's test these things first. I will add like a other things. Okay, sorry, it's not a, it's an API.py. Okay, I did not call that main, right? So I always forget this. If name equal to main, right? Then app.run, you need to pass debug equal to true. So this is our home page. Got it? So now if I use item, see, I am able to see all the items in my to-do list. Let's say if I want to display only one, see, I'm able to get a one. And if I am able to do two, I'm able to get the two. Let's say three. See, you don't have any item with that number. Clear? So this functionality so far is working fine. Now let's go and add more other functionalities by using your put and delete. Okay, and what I will do was I just wanted to create a one more task, right? So in to-do list, you always create a few other tasks as well. Got it? So now let's say I'm using post method to create a new task, right? This is also an API call. So app dot route. This route I'm using like items. What I would like to do was I'm using a method equal to post and def create item, right? In create, maybe I will write in this way. Okay, so for creating item, what you need like a specific ID, name, description, and then you have to append that entire data to like a your item list. Clear? That's what you need to do when you are doing a create list. Sorry, create an item. So now if not request dot json or not name in request.json, what I'm going to do is I will return JSONify and let me display that error item not found. Okay, I will display it and I will add a new item which is in this format. So first thing was you need an ID, correct? How do you get ID? Any idea? Tell me, any idea how do I get the ID number? Are you there? I'm not able to hear you. Yeah. So what I asked was, how do you get the item ID? Any idea when we are creating a ID? Okay. So I will tell you. So see, you already have a two items, right? You can't create an item with the same ID, correct? Here is the logic we need to follow. So what I need to do, I need to take a last element or like a last item in the list and increment the ID of the corresponding the last element. Okay. So now if I am taking this, if I am able to get this item from the list, and if I am doing like a one more addition, then my ID will be created, right? Got it? So that's what I'm gonna do here exactly. Okay. So what I will do was for creating an ID, I need to go and pick the last item in the list, corresponding ID, and then now I will get a 2 here, right? So now in so far I will get a 2, and then I will add a 1 here, which means that I want to increment the ID number. If items else 1. Okay. So in this way, what I am doing was, I think it's items. Yeah. I am taking last element or like a last ID from the item list and increment ID. Got it? So now you can give the name, description, anything. Okay. Let's say request.json name and the corresponding description. The description I will use like a request.json description. Okay, got it. This is my new items. New item is created. What is the next step? You need to add this item to your item list. So new item. Now return JSONify a new item. That's it. Okay. So this is how you can create a new task. Sorry, new ID. Now there are and this is okay. This you understood. Now let's say you will have an option. Okay, so you completed your task and you want to update the task information. Correct. So how do you do that? So there I'm using a put method. The put method, what I will do was update an existing item, right? So I will use like a app dot one more route items, and here I need to pass what item ID, or like for what item ID I need to update the information. Correct. So now I will use the corresponding item ID and methods equal to put, right? Then def update item, and I need to take that ID. Okay, so again you need to find that item ID, right? So how do you do that? So again I need to find the item. Again next the same thing what I wrote above, item per item in items, if item of ID equal to item ID, else none. Now again you need to handle if item is none, which means that you don't have an item which you entered. Then return JSONify error, and I will mention as item not found. Okay, if item found, what you need to do? You need to take that you need to update the name. Correct. Item name request dot JSON dot get, right? 1 second. Yeah. Dot get. You need to get that item. Correct. And the name. Okay, and item of name. Clear? Why it's showing error? Okay, my bad. It's not a colon, it's equal to. Yeah, this is what we need to do. Let's say if you want to update your description. Okay, then you can just use request.json.get, and here you will use description. Okay, but you have to make sure that while you are writing, you are using like a same variable names. Okay, or else it will throw error. That's why just simply copy. Now you will return JSONify and then this corresponding item. This is about your updating an existing item. Got it? Let's say if you want to do delete, how do you do the delete? So we have a method called delete an item, right? So def, I will use like a delete. Okay, first thing you need to create a route, app.route, and you need to take that again, the item list, entire items, and integer of what item ID you want to delete. That is done. Now methods equal to, you need to do like a delete. Okay, now delete item. You need to take the corresponding item ID, and first thing was you need to use that entire item list. Okay, that is I'm using like a global. Okay, global item, sorry, global variable, right? So you will take the entire item ID and declaring it as a global, because when you delete it, it should reflect in all the pages or like all the things. Correct. That's why I'm using like a global variable here. right? So how do you do that? So for item, in items, if item id, okay, it's just id, yeah, it's not equal to item id, then what you will do was you will just delete it. Basically, you don't need to write a code for delete. Okay. So what you have to do was you just need to use this delete thing. So automatically the backend, this Ginger template will enable that one. Okay. So, but for update and all those things, we are writing a logic, right? So you are not deleting it or updating anything, right? So what we are doing was we are just updating it, and you just need to mention that one automatically, that functionality was developed. Okay. And item and return dot, what we are doing was we are returning JSONify and all the like the success message. Okay, so whether the item was deleted or not. Maybe I will write result equal to item deleted. Clear? So this is the entire code what we wrote. Let's try to test. Okay, so one error is coming where it is. Okay, it is coming here during the put method. What was this? If item is none, okay, I got it. So it should be in a dictionary format. Okay, super. Is there any errors here? Okay, no. So we already tested using a postman here. So let me open my postman. If you are not aware of the postman, it is also a tool where you can uh, use or like a play around with the APIs. Okay, so because all these are like APIs, right? So you can use like the same APIs what we have. Okay, first thing, let's keep the server up. Okay, some errors came. We need to fix this. Item ID methods equal to put. It's throwing it is 47. Update an existing item. It's throwing it this one. App.route item integer item ID methods put is correct. Update the item ID. If the item is not found, we are returning. Allowed methods must be a list of strings, for example. Okay, correctly only I mentioned list of strings. Oh, okay. I think I missed here. This method should be inside a list. Okay, so if you see all these things are under list, but I missed here writing the list. Okay, now let's do it again. Okay, one more error, no worries. Value error, URL rule must start with slash. Okay, I missed one more slash. Yeah. Okay. It's fine. So if you are getting errors, so we are learning something. Yeah. Now, okay, super. So our entire thing was started. So let's test in our UI. Yes. And items. Yes, we have items. And if I'm able to display one, yes. Okay. Now I can also do the same thing in your Postman also. Got it? So let's try to go and see the Postman. Right. So if I am sending here, okay. Did not attempt the JSON to load. Yeah, so it depends, like, so whatever the method you mentioned, right? So there, so now for displaying purpose I use like a get method, correct? So that's why I just using like a this one. So now let's say if I am using, this is entire display thing, I can also get a specific ID, correct? If I'm sending with ID, see, I'm able to get a only specific ID. Clear? Let's say if I'm using like a 3, see, item was not found. And you can also see all the logs here, right? So as soon as I doing, let's say, see, currently we have like a 200 requests. Are you familiar with Postman, Meghna?
No, they.
Yeah. So Postman is a tool where actually you will test your end-to-end APIs, right? So this is very useful. So that's why you just see when you are doing a testing, right? So you built a model as an API. Correct. Currently, all these things you are building an API. Correct. Let's say here this is your XGBoost model, right? You are you will have like a slash predict here. So whatever the data it comes, your slash predict should take, and then it will give the results. Correct? That's the end goal of when you are doing end-to-end ML model. But you have to test those things in internally. Correct? For these things, you can use the APIs. Sorry, this Postman tool.
Okay.
Right? So it's supposed like all the HTTP methods: put, post, delete, head, options, patch. We don't need like head, options, patch. If you are doing like a entire like a testing role, right, you can do, but for us it's okay, like we can only limited, I mean we can limit ourselves to get post, put, delete, but if you are interested you can learn your own. Okay, but these are the things we can, for now it is enough. Okay, so now we tested here, and now let's see. mm, we need to create a new task, correct? So for creating a task, what is the thing? So now I'm using a post method, because see, it's always you need to go to the method. Okay, so for creating a task, it's a post method. That's why I'm changing, and I need to use the item list, and I need to pass this entire thing, correct? So now let's see, items, post. Now it is not, because like we are not displaying here. So to create it, you need to use like a body here and raw format here. And in the raw format, you have to use, you have like a multiple things. You can pass in a text, you can pass in a JavaScript, you can pass in a HTML, you can pass in a JSON, anything. Since we are working in a API, right? So we have to work in a JSON things. So now what I will do was I will copy the sample JSON what I have previously. So you need to pass this way. Okay. I don't need to pass any kind of a ID. Tell me why.
It is initially initiate
Yeah, not initially.
and
So if you see the logic, what I wrote was ID, it's automatically pick, but you need to pass the only item and descriptions. Got it? ID,
okay.
it will automatically increment, right? So we don't need to specifically create ID, but you need to pass like a what is the item you are creating. Okay, that's why you just need like a two things. So I just using the sample this one. I need to put here, so new item ID, new item. Okay, now what I will do was I will just do a send here. 1 second, it throws some internal server error. Okay, is the server stopped? Hmm. I think some error was there. 1 second, let me fix this one. See, it's always like good to fix this one. So the, did you figure it out? What is the error? Look at these two things.
Is it equal to?
No. See, and if you see the specifically it is throwing at a description. Okay. So see the request JSON, and it should be in a list. What I did here, I kept it in a parenthesis. That's the error.
Okay.
So you always need to look at a error first. Okay. So it will almost like a show you at a specific location itself. Okay. Now again I started my server. Now I will use like a let's say copy this, and I'm using one more thing. So first thing maybe I will use, okay, reduce post, body, raw, and my URL. Let's see. See, as soon as I executed, there is a 200 success message, and you will be able to see this is a new item, and then it was it was just added. Okay, but do you know whether it is added or not? No. How do you know that? You again need to go and see all the items. Correct? How do you get all the items? Print it. See, now you if you are able to see the new item was added. You don't need to look at here also. Maybe let's say if you are looking at your web browser also. Okay. It should not throw. Here the server is up. Okay, let's try. See, I think this was a previous load, right? So it was not redirected. Yeah. See, I'm able to see like the new item was created. Got it?
Yeah, Uday.
Now let's try to see update an existing one. Okay. So for updating, what is the method I'm going to use here was I'm using like a for updating it's a put method, correct? So put, and I'm gonna use like a let's say this one I'm gonna update like my third item. Okay, what is the item? Yeah, third item, this item ID. Okay, and I'm using like a third here, and again I need to pass my raw-text JSON file, and I also have like a sample that's I already created. I'm using like a this one and use this one, and let's try to see if it is see, it was successful and I'm able to execute it. Now again, if you go and see the list of items, see, the item was updated item, right? So what you are doing, you see, there is a one basic thing I just wanted to tell you, because like you are not familiar with the Postman. So as soon as I executed, so there will be all the requests are coming here. Got it? See, item 3 items. Now I just hit the items, right? So you are hitting your API. So by this, you can call or you can see like how many requests is coming for your applications. So I will show you in the later stages how many requests are coming. You can build a dashboard, Grafana dashboard you can build and see like how many requests are coming, how many are failure, how many are success. Those things we have to display. That's called an end-to-end product. We will show all those things in the when we are talking in terms of building end-to-end products. Okay, so but for now you just remember all these things. That's it. Yeah, so we are done with the updating a item. So you can also see like the item 3, right? So you can see this item has been updated. Okay, now let's try to see like a delete. You can use like a delete, and for delete again I need a items. So I just want to delete the updated item what is there in the list. So I will just, okay, it should be delete. It will throw error. Now just send it. See, the item is deleted. Now let's see whether it was deleted or not. Just hit it. Item should delete. Item is deleted. So in error. Okay, let me open here. Okay, one second. Something was happened. 404 server error. Item is deleted. Let's see. I think item is deleted, but it was not updated. Yeah. So I think like the problem I told you, right? So item was deleted, but we haven't updated any kind of a global here. So that's the reason I believe. So, but this is how you can do that. Okay. Once again. So if you can see the item is deleted. Clear? So yeah. So this is about the entire Flask. I hope you get some sense like how do you create an API and how do you call it? How do you test it? Right. So what are the different methods will be there? Right. Yeah, you can just
Yeah.
practice these entire things in your mission and let me
Okay.
know. Yeah.
Okay.
So I just want to stop the class today because like we cover like most of the things. So tomorrow we'll complete Streamlit, and then like there's a one thing called multi-processing and multi-threading in your
Okay.
Python
Python.